Hi, my name is Nick. This is You Don't Scare Me, channel where we debunk ghost videos. This is a viewer request. They couldn't remember whether it was the third or fourth clip, but I'm going to watch the whole thing and figure out what they're talking about. And if you're coming back to watch this video, then hopefully I will debunk the clip that you're talking about. Without further ado, it's 10 scary ghost videos that give viewers nightmares. It's fearsome top 5, but we're hoping to look for the third or fourth clip. And then I'm going to debunk everything in this video because I like the runtime.
Welcome to Fearsome Top 5. Today we're gonna take a look at 10 scary videos that may just prove that ghosts exist. Number 1. This first creepy video has been circulating the internet lately and was posted by an unknown source. The mysterious uploader received a motion detected notification from their Ring camera in the middle of the night. Expecting it to be nothing, they nonchalantly took a look, but what they saw on their phone screen sent chills down their spine.
Bet you it's gonna be dust. Or a bug, moth, fruit fly, something like that. Oh. It's just somebody passing outside the IR range. Just in case you didn't see it, I'm gonna go back a couple of seconds, and then you just gotta look in this area here. Look there. Yeah, so essentially cameras have compression. So I explained this several times, but just in case this is the first video that you're watching, then I'll explain it again. But basically, because the entire scene in these areas are all completely stationary for a specific, like for a lengthy amount of time, the camera pauses the whole frame and only updates the part of the frame that has movement. Like, let's say this ceiling fan is slowly moving, then that area will be updated while the rest of the scene will just get paused, and it'll only get updated when something happens. And I'm guessing that there's probably a bathroom over here, and then the bedroom is over here. What the hell is up with my arrows? The bedroom is probably over here, so somebody's just transiting from the bathroom to the bedroom, and because they managed to, you know, be outside of the IR range of the camera, then they're out of focus, and then the camera doesn't update their position and assumes the background of the camera, that the background is what it keeps. Super simple. There's a second option if you want a second option. So option 1 is outside of IR range, camera compression, low light settings, and resource management. The second option, if you're more interested in that, it's likely that they would also take 2 video clips, and then because it's a static area, you don't have to worry about having ghosting or anything like a duplicate. So like if you see somebody's got the opacity lowered and for some reason the lamp has like a second lamp that you're seeing, so like you'll see one and then you'll see one that's like shifted over, that's an indication that the camera was bumped during a recording. If they wanted to make a ghost video, all they would have to do is just record the background and then record a second clip of them walking through it, and then layer them on top of each other and just lower the opacity of the top one all the way down to like near 0, and then you get this. That's the second option, but I think it's the first option. Yeah, whatever.
Badgerman7 is just your average guy that posts a wide variety of videos to TikTok. And according to the Badgerman himself, he's never personally experienced anything paranormal inside of his home. But recently, after checking a notification from his Ring doorbell camera, he noticed something bizarre.
Okay, you see, this is the exact same thing. It's very likely that this thing that's moving across the screen is just another, you know, paused thing. I'm sure if we went back to the original, to the beginning of the clip, we could probably see how his legs are kind of not there. This person that they're not pointing out, it's because that portion of the camera has paused. It's trying to differentiate between the gate and what's behind a gate, and that's why it's deleting most of the person's legs. So, you know, that and this is the same thing. Well, I don't think that's the thing, but still, it's just camera compression. It's always just camera compression. As you can see, it just kind of appears here. Let me get rid of my face for a second, but you won't get telestration on that. But I'll use my mouse. Here's the thing. So transit's through, and it's outside of the range.
Across the
It's just very simply just a camera, you know, pausing the scene and not updating something that's way outside of its detection range. Most cameras have like an 80-foot, like the sweet spot. The average for cameras is 80 feet of IR range. They don't typically need to record that much, like cast light that much farther, so they won't like invest in that kind of security system, because 80 feet is usually the property line of whatever you're trying to record, like garage door down to the driveway. You know, you're not getting 80 feet all the way up to the neighbor's house. That's like the upper end. The lower end is probably around 30-45 feet of IR range, but you know, better cameras have better IR range. Also, if it's a moonlit night, the moon will shine infrared light from the reflection of the sun, and that'll also illuminate the area. But what's happening here is one of two things. Yeah, the camera compression, or second, just a spider web that's floating in front of the camera.
Right to left, walking behind the
But it looks very much more like just camera compression. If this is your first time here, I had a job as a CCTV footage analyzer for a insurance company that I can't name due to an NDA. But I reviewed and detect, and for the purposes of detecting manipulation in CCTV footage for a living, and
experiences before.
You know,
At least not until he jokingly purchased
it's a bit of a profession. I would call myself an expert in that.
As he began to hear strange eye. Well, on a recent post, it looks like he caught this activity in action.
See how the compression, the quality is above par for what I usually expect to find in this type of video, but I can't. So the low light conditions lead me to believe that that they've lowered the resolution artificially to encourage people to not be able to see the string. But there's a little bit of an issue in that just at the very edge, the very bottom edge of the cupboard door opening, you can see that there's something right here, and I don't know if that's fully visible to you. It's not on that monitor, and I'm not seeing it on that monitor. So I have 3 different monitors, and each monitor is set up in a different brightness and color way, so that I can, like Batman, try to find these errors. But there does seem to be some sort of, you know, string-like thing visible just for a brief moment at the bottom edge of the cupboard. And then there was something right about here that, let me take my glasses off. My glasses are mostly meant for, yeah, okay, so let's check on this one. Yeah, all right, right here, it's very faint. I'll give you a minute to look at it, and if I remember to in the editing in DaVinci, I will zoom in on it. But there is the hint of a string visible just right there. So I'll give you a couple seconds to look at that before we move on. Okay, so judging by the position of this kettle, I'd say that the kettle would be the next thing to get yanked. Kettles are really common to get yanked, especially if they're not like glass. There's a lot of people. Oh, I see he's got the soda stream, and he's got the extra soda stream canister outside. Ah, you see the kettle's moving. So the kettle, that's too obvious, man. That's way too obvious. Everything that needs to move is arranged in the scene in a position that would allow it to move easily. If you see, he's got like a door here. That door is likely where the string is being pulled, because you know, the cupboard door opens this way. If this cupboard door opened that way and there was a line of sight showing that corner, then I would have a little bit more interest, but that would be easily explained by looping a string behind the refrigerator. So somebody's in this room here and they're just yanking a string on the door handle. Is this the second or third clip? I think this is the one that they're probably talking about in the request. If it is the correct video, then let me know if I've got this right. But there is a anomaly right here. Yep. And that anomaly is likely the string. Yeah, it is. That's it. There's a string right here. The string is going from this area here of the kettle, and it's looped around behind the sink so that it can create a fixed point where they can utilize all these objects on the countertop to obfuscate the string. It's likely that it's been placed behind some large heavy objects over here as to not pull everything off the table, although if things did fall off the table, it's likely that they'd benefit from that. But you can very clearly see the string right here. And the reason why I can very clearly tell that it's the string. Yeah.
One of the cabinets in the kitchen here.
Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, the reason why I can very clearly tell that it's a string is because it follows alongside the kettle. Since the kettle got pulled off the front, then it's a lot easier, and now I can look in another spot to check for the string. So that is the string right there. You can see it. I'll give you a second. Just look right above that red circle. There's a line. You know? So that string is connected in here, and then there's a second string here. If you want to see an example of a really well hidden string, go to my channel, go click on the channel, go to shorts, and then go way to the bottom, and at the very bottom you'll find one of the first things that we uploaded was a ghost video. It's got about 5,000 views right now. And I made that because I was hoping that people would latch onto that. It would go viral, everybody would look at it, and they'd go check the channel to see if there were any more videos, and then they'd find, hi, guess what, this is a debunking channel. Because you got fooled by that, let me teach you how to spot the tricks. But I don't know, didn't really work. But yeah. Oh, he's even zooming in on it, even better. It even caught, that's funny.
Sliding across the counter before eventually plummeting to the floor. Although this
you could see it. That's funny. It's kind of hard to tell now that it's all zoomed in and compressed because the pixels blend in. But right there. See it? I think you can see that. I can see it on all three. Yeah, it's funny. It gets hung up for a second, and you can see when it gets hung up that it starts to tip. See, look at the spout. You can see the spout tilt up.
video gave Josh chills. This activity was nothing.
Yeah. If that's the video that you were requesting that I look at, just leave a comment down below saying you got it, and yeah. If not, I'll just keep doing them all, and then at the end you can tell me if I got it. Jesus. I hope you don't mean that one, because, you know, just in case you mean this one, I gotta go through it. So that's obviously just a, you know, regular playing video. Here's a full, you know, like a, you know, like regular anonymous mask, you know, just the white really thin plastic, or in this case a black really thin plastic one. But you can see that this entire frame here is full black, which is where I would put a cut, and it only stops being full black when he turns the light on, which happens over 3 frames, which is pretty normal. But it doesn't even look like he turned the light on. He turned the flash on his phone, and if you're familiar with turning the flash on your phone, it's not exactly able to be done while you're recording a video, so it's very likely that he stopped the video and then he, unless it is, he might have turned on the lights. Maybe they're just really bad lights.
Josh quickly began recording after waking up to the sound of scratching outside of his room, and as he turned his camera towards the bedroom door, something pushed it open. Then moments later, an ominous pair of red eyes appear from the darkness.
It's not red eyes, it's just a Halloween mask, you know?
At Josh.
It's just kind of cringe. It's a little cringe. No offense, if that's the one that you wanted me to debunk, then
uploaded over 13 years ago.
It's just a Halloween mask and then a clever cut. Not even really that clever, but it's just a cut. Let's see.
In a room when one of them caught a glimpse of something terrifying.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Oh my God.
What, Emily?
Are you alright?
What's wrong?
Are you alright?
He just said
Did you
something.
not see that?
I'm really frustrated when people do this, because what's happening is she's pretending to be surprised, you know what I mean? And everybody's just poking and prodding, and it's like, tell me, but she's in her brain, she's thinking, oh, how do I like, what's my line, you know what I mean? So we're supposed to be spooked out by the person over here, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here, 6 if you include the camera person, so it would be very likely that that's your 7th friend. The fact that he looked over there, she hasn't explained like what she saw, and his instinct is to look into here to look at the 7th friend. She's smiling. It's an uncomfortable smile. It's fine, but it's this person here that really she's not.
Are you alright?
It's just bad acting is what it is.
He just moved.
I heard you say something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like I hate people like this, because they just, like, something happens, or they think they see something, and then they just, like, what are they doing? They're just making it awkward for everybody around them, you know? Hey, everybody look at me, I saw something, everybody's concerned. People don't like doing that around me, because when they do that, I'm like, if you're not going to tell me in 5 seconds, I don't fucking care anymore.
Emily, don't worry. He just said something, that's all.
No, I saw it.
Alright, piss off, get over yourself.
Blue dress. This
Blue?
figure
Blue. Shit.
can
Never mind.
swaying back and forth before disappearing.
I am slightly colorblind.
It appears as if no one
I
else in
don't,
the
but
group could
it
see
looks white to me.
Luckily, this chilling experience was caught on camera, and there's no.
You know what I mean? It's so cliche. You know, it's a girl in a white dress, like a you know, like a nightgown, right? And they've got long white or long black hair, and they're all evil. They're just misunderstood. It's such a cliche. Get over it.
The basement is alive.
If that's the one you wanted me to debunk, then it's just their seventh friend dressed in a creepy thing so they can make a video so they can go viral.
The goal of solving puzzles and finding clues to ultimately escape. But with this building having
Yeah, see? There you go. Here's a perfect example of that mask.
paranormal presence inside, things get even more interesting. Both guests and employees have reported experiencing strange things. And recently, as one of the employees was setting up for the day, she could hear the sound of chairs moving in another room. She quickly pulled out her phone and managed to catch this on video.
Okay, let me see if I can get this on.
Oh, look at that really shitty uneven floor. Yeah, right. On the off chance this is the one you were talking about. Don't ever look at bugs. Don't ever look at orbs. Don't send me orbs. Or bugs. Dust. I made a short about it. I don't know about you, but it looks to me like there's a string tied around the back piece of that chair, and it's always conveniently right by an opening. Like these things never happen like in the dead center of a warehouse. It's always exactly where you would conveniently place. Okay, fine. So let's say that the string isn't attached to that part. My new assumption is that it's this string, could have been this string, and more than likely it's just a string attached to here. Look at how compressed the video is. Like, why do you guys take a video like this that's supposed to prove ghost videos, like prove that ghosts exist, and then you send it to your friend on Facebook Messenger and then tell them to upload it to ensure that it's compressed? Alright, I'll bite. It's a really long string. That was the most... You missed like the 90% of where I'd hide a string. No cut.
Moments after she entered the room, a chair
There's really not much to that. It's a person with a string, and they're, instead of being right around the corner, they're like, I don't know, I think there's enough space back there. There's definitely enough space back there for somebody to hide.
shows that there is clearly no one else around.
Clearly no one else around. Unless you do a full fucking like 360 degree like room to room, corner to corner like room sweep, then you can't say that there's nobody around.
And if so, maybe a ghost was just trying.
And also she entirely avoided showing us this part of the chair and the entire this whole side of the chair she never showed us. So that's where the string is, exactly where she wouldn't show us.
TikTok account has been uploading video proof of the haunting in her home. According to Julie, the land her townhome was built on is rumored to be haunted. During the
I'm not bored or tired, I'm just weird. So, hopefully my monotone voice is reflective of how...
And since living here, Julie's list of paranormal
I don't know.
experiences continues to...
I am enthusiastic. I am enjoying myself, but like my personality, this is just the way I am. So that's okay. Love me. So the cat's looking in the reflection of this mirror right here. So it's more than likely that she's seeing something over in this area or something just off the screen this way that's, you know, piqued her attention. She's not seeing a ghost standing here or anything like that. Look, mirror. Oh, too far. Mirror. Anyways. Possibly a spider. No. Dust. Bug. Moth.
Table, Julie's
Fruit fly.
something that we cannot see.
Wave?
Then,
The cat.
while on the table, Julie's cat appears to wave at something.
Wave. Wave. The cat waved. Do not ascribe human interactions, human behaviors to an animal.
Something that sent chills down her spine.
They are not people. They don't understand. It's just dust. It's just dust. Like, okay. Dust, insect, spider web, cobweb, airwick air freshener, automatic timing spritz, vape cloud, candle being blown out, candle going out, ambient moisture from a tea kettle that's boiling. Like, all of these things shine in a infrared camera. It could be anything, but I promise you what it isn't is a ghost.
In the middle of the night, a ghostly mist can be seen floating through the room. This mist manifests at the
I don't believe that it's the middle of the night because there's no timestamp.
moments. Julie's not quite sure what could have
In fact, is that a...
the screen and is only visible.
It's not a candle, but it's...
Julie's nose at the top left of the screen.
It's...
and is only visible
It looks like a friggin' airwick spraying its...
few brief moments. Just be her cat's little friend.
No.
On another that outside of Julie's home caught a glimpse of something bizarre.
See, what they do is they debunk one thing in their video. They say, well, that's not it. Don't worry about that. That's just this. So that you think they seem more genuine because they didn't point out their friend's shadow or their neighbor's shadow and say, oh, there's another ghost. Oh, by the way, that's a retired cruiser. I've seen that before with the skull on the front. I think that's a YouTuber. Look closer at what? The friggin... Looks like a lens flare. Looks like a lens flare from like a passing aerial vehicle, like a helicopter or a drone or something like that. And it's got a light that's like glinting off of the lens of the...
Around 10 p.m. just
Might not be that. It's probably just a bug. Moth. Could be a spider on a web that's just outside of the camera. So like the camera's here, you know, and then the spider, like let's say it's got one of those like shrouds, right? This goes over to stop the rain from destroying the lens. So the spider will build a nest from here, a web from here to here. So the spider's here. Well, yeah, you get it. Spider's like 2 or 3 inches off the camera lens. It's out of focus, but it's still being picked up by the IR.
Moved from left to right before fading away. I have no idea. Around the internet, I caught something appeared to be lurking around. Terrifying.
Huh? Oh.
What looked like a normal night quickly took a turn as the car on the right-hand side turned on and the door opened by itself. No one was around the cars when.
Okay, so the dome light inside your car will turn on when the door opens, right? So if somebody is, I don't know, standing just off to the side, like they're probably like right here, crouched up. They've got a string wrapped around the door handle, and all they gotta do is yank the string, and the door opens, the dome light turns on. The car didn't turn on.
The inside turned on and the door opened by itself.
So they pulled a string that's attached to this. Just the fact that the door unlatches, there's like this sloped bit inside your door. So here's the front of your door, and then here's the part where the latch is, or this piece is usually on the frame of the car, and then the door kind of goes click over that. So the piece that's behind the skin of the door, this piece, it's like sloped, and that slope has a little tiny momentary switch like this. And then when the door opens, it's usually got like a rubber gasket around it. Go look at it in your car. When you open your car door and it goes ding, 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 you left your keys in the ignition. Well, I guess not anymore because most people have push button starts, but whatever. That little button there is super sensitive. So as the door opens, the pin that's usually pushed in will pop out even slightly, and it'll turn on the dome light for you so that you can see what you're doing. This isn't paranormal. It's somebody with a string tied around the door handle and opening it.
The grand estate surrounded this mansion for years.
Just because the door didn't fully open, like before the light came on, doesn't mean anything. The door just opened slightly. If you touch the door handle and pop the door even slightly, the dome light comes on, and then you just open the door the rest of the way. Not paranormal.
Thought where we were.
Aware of their presence.
I thought it was like 2 floors in an attic. And I thought where we were, that was it. Oh, that's right. The coffin and stuff is up there.
So this room's got a big bed in it. It's kind of creepy.
Why?
You sleeping up here tonight, Ethan? I mean, it's nice and cold out. It's not like you'll get too hot up here. It's not like you'll get too hot up here.
And as they began an EVP session,
Whenever you see subtitles, they're trying to give you cognitive bias. So you're supposed to read the subtitles, and then that like tricks your brain into thinking that that's actually what was said. But if you're like me and you don't even realize that there's subtitles at all, and you hear that, you're just like, it sounds like somebody like, you know, zipping up their sweater in the hallway, or you know, any number of animals outside.
a very clear message came through.
We continue to prod for answers and attempt to make contact using the devices we set out in the room.
Well, see, he's doing really well with a monotone voice, so I guess I'm good.
Were EVPs captured on the microphone that wouldn't have been noticed until review time. We decided to move on to a live recording session to see what could be captured in real time in hopes to facilitate better communication.
We're gonna play it back now, so you want to listen. Come on in, okay? Here's your chance. You can hear your voice. Get the 110%.
No way.
Listen to the first, dude. It literally clears the says get the out, like right off the bat. First second. 100%. Listen. Oh my God.
Nope.
And that's why I'm getting a headache. Dude. And that's why I'm getting a headache.
You're getting a headache because you're in the dark. Your eyes are attempting to adjust, and every 5 seconds you're swinging the flashlight around, which is causing your pupils to dilate and undilate. You're receiving light and darkness in such a frequent basis that it causes headaches. That's why you're getting a headache.
We got two. They're so sick of it, dude. They're so sick of it.
Maybe that's why.
I swear to God, I didn't hear that at all. It just sounds like somebody... Only when you read the subtitles does it sound like that. If you're just listening to it, all it sounds like is just regular audio static, like somebody who plugged in a microphone, kind of, and then everybody, like, you can like scratch the side of the friggin' case, or like even just the motion of moving it in your hands can cause that. We figured that out with our paranormal investigation. Yeah, we did a paranormal investigation. Like we did a couple. And the reason why we did that is because we don't want to just be telling people, yeah, this is the paranormal, this is your paranormal investigation's bullshit. We want to put our money where our mouth is, right? So we went out, we did a couple of them. We're planning on doing a couple more. We never find ghosts. All we find is just regular things that everybody can totally explain. But we figured if we didn't go out there and like actually show that we can do paranormal investigations, then like our credibility when it comes to debunking paranormal investigations would be put up to question. So one of the paranormal investigations we did, Karis had the radio in his hand, and he was moving around, and then because of the range that it was from the microphone and stuff like that, it sounded like actual words were coming through. And it really does sound like words if you add subtitles, but without the subtitles it just doesn't sound like anything.
Despite receiving almost zero interactions with our devices.
You're going to receive zero interaction because there is nothing to interact with.
Continue our testing.
I'm gonna give you a minute. We're gonna head downstairs, okay? Take a minute.
I'll play it back slower and adjust the brightness on the clip.
Cool.
Give you a minute. We're gonna head downstairs, okay? Take a minute. Yeah.
You're not talking about that thing on the left, right? Were they talking about that spotlight? Look at this entire area. See how many reflective surfaces there are? Odds are that there's also reflective surfaces around here. As one of them turn around like this, they're going to shine the light on a reflective surface, probably like something similar to these, because this room doesn't seem like it goes on forever. There's likely another window behind them, and all they've done is just shine their flashlight off that, which is reflecting onto this surface. Fools.
While grabbing my second angle, I briefly lingered in the threshold of one of the closets, and during this time, captured a very strange anomaly on the camera. And I can't.
It's not a strange anomaly, it's just an anomaly. I don't fault people for pointing these things out and then being like, I can't explain that. You're like, yes, I understand. To the uninitiated, all of this is very bizarre, but...
Woods. Footage, he noticed something.
I'm coming up on my 40-minute limit. Let's just get to his explanation.
A trench coat, leading Nick to believe that this could be the ghostly figure looks to have on a helmet and a trench coat.
No, it's not. It's just an old man out for a walk. His hands are in his pockets and everything. This is just another person out for a stroll in the forest. The people aren't. You don't have dominion over the forest. People are allowed to go out. So this isn't paranormal. This is just another fellow in a trench coat and a friggin' flat cap out for a walk. So that's good enough for me. I'm going to call that debunked. Every single one of those videos, I'm pretty sure I debunked every single one of those. So the viewer, you know who you are. You asked not to be named. I respect that, but hope that solved your problems. Obviously, I asked you a couple times to leave a comment down below and say you got it, but that would expose you, I suppose. So I don't know. Like the video then. Yeah, that's all I got. Okay, love you, bye.